Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Government targets $2 trillion in banks forex gain tax. Clinton, Obama, Hillary, Pelosi, others hail Biden for endorsing Harris. ECOWAS raises $38 million grants to boost SMEs. Former Gensec Osigwe is NBA president-elect. And Zenith retains top spot as best bank for the record 15 years. Okay, which story?
Okay, let me start with the NBA. So the elections for the Nigerian Bar Association happened over the weekend, and we have the former secretary to the NBA emerging as the president. So congratulations to Osigwe. I'm trying to get his full name, sorry. Mazi Afam Osigwe was the former general secretary. He's now the president-elect. We had several new vice presidents. So Sebastian Anya was elected the first vice president. We have Mrs. Bola Tomi Anima Shaun elected second vice president. Mrs. Zainab Garba elected third vice president. We also have a new general secretary, Dr. Mobola Giojibara, and we have the National Publicity Secretary, Mrs. Bridget Edokwe. Congratulations to all the officers, the newly appointed officers, and I hope that this will bring us all progress in the association.
Okay, so Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is pulling $38 million to lift small and medium enterprises, that's the SMEs, in member states. This was according to the chairman, who is our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said this yesterday. And he also spoke of plans by the region body to extend grants to Mauritania, Central African Republic, Chad, and Cameroon through commercial and financial institutions. So he said that additional 140 million naira will be provided to support solar SMEs. And this was what he said during the 6th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union, AU, in Accra, Ghana, where he also went ahead to showcase the ECOWAS achievements and landmarks during the year. So he said, and I quote, "To achieve sustainable electricity access within the ECOWAS and Sahel countries, we will provide a total grant of $38 million to SMEs in member states, an additional loan of $140 million will also be made available to the solar SMEs, not naira." Now, within the period under the review, they said ECOWAS supported experts from member states in international meetings and negotiations on environmental issues, including environmental governance. They said we provided support to our members in the implementation of the Paris Agreement and establishment of regional carbon markets. With respect to food security, the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development has approved the instrument to operationalize the Regional Fund for Agriculture and Food. The regional food security was developed to achieve such sufficiency, especially in rice production. Now, he's also set for pastoralism in the Sahel. They've targeted the improvement of animal health with a record vaccination of over 490 million livestock. And they've established common rules for controlling the veterinary medicine and their products, amongst other things that they plan to do for states within the ECOWAS region.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the President of the United States of America, President Joe Biden, who yesterday announced his withdrawal from the presidential race and also went ahead to nominate his Vice President, Kamala Harris, as, he nominated her to take over from him, that's to run in his stead. And he said that he did this for the good of the Democratic Party and his country. He said that he's decided to focus all his energy and his duties as president for the remainder of the term, And he said a lot of wonderful things about his VP, and he endorsed her. Some of the big stakeholders in the Democratic Party also endorsed her. Many people have been sending in, their opinions. Most people think that what he's done is a charity. Well, they think it's a noble thing that he's done, to step aside and allow his vice president to run in his stead. Of course, we know Donald Trump has called him all sorts of things, called him worst president ever and everything.
I sent a post on our group saying that the shot that was shot at
Trump, but
fired at Trump, but it
killed Biden
because of
I thought too as well when I when the story of the shot first happened, I was like, oof, this is going to affect Biden in a big way.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just thought it was
You
interesting.
may have had
like,
that plan anyway.
No, I don't think
now.
so. I think it was actually pressured to take that stance.
Wow.
But for me, I was like, can this ever happen in our country?
We get there. We'll get there.
Major headline. So there's a proposed one-off tax on the 2023 foreign exchange gained by banks. So the federal government, according to an amendment to the Financial Act, was passed into law, said that it stipulates that there shall be levied and paid to the benefit of the federal government a tax of 50% of all foreign exchange transactions of banks within 2023 financial year. Now, if this happens, they're projecting to get about, I think it's 2 trillion naira from the banks. According to this report, the federal government is hoping to use this amount of money for the infrastructure of the Renewed Hope agenda. So they're saying that some of the banks raked in so much money for the revaluation. So according to the report, GT Bank, Zenith, UBA, and I think it was First Bank, one of the first 4 banks, they made about 2/3 of the total gains by these big 3. And they are making it to like 700 billion naira. That was what they made from some of them 700 billion, and I think in total. So they're saying that federal government should be getting half of all the banks' revaluation of the foreign exchange levies, and hopefully that should be able to fund some of our infrastructure that the federal government is hoping to get with the Renewed Hope agenda. Moving on now to the Punch. We don't have any major headlines here. We have stories inside. Inferior fuel, federal government demands Dangote refineries diesel report, orders new tests. And from inside, we have a few human interest stories. Appeal court affirms death penalty on Dane for killing wife and daughter. Armed men kill inspector, 3 civilians in Abia, and a few other stories. Okay, which story are we taking?
So I have the Dangote story. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority is expecting a fresh report from the Dangote refinery to confirm the real sulfur content of their diesel. The spokesperson, Judge Eneita, in an interview, mentioned that the agency has done its job and they will not engage in a media fight with anybody over the claims by their chief executive, Farouk Ahmed, when he said that the Dangote diesel has more sulfur content than the imported one. And so Eneita is saying that they have about 15 engineers and scientists that are presently in the Dangote refinery and they are waiting their fresh reports today, Monday today. You know, the chief executive had mentioned that Dangote did not meet up, does not have his full license yet. He did not meet some of their requirements. Said that it's only at 45% completion, and you know, so there was this back and forth online where media houses were now calling out the NMDPRA over the allegations of their chief executive, and so now they are looking to investigate Dangote's sulfur content in his diesel. But Dangote, on his defense, insists that they met the regulation and that the NMDPRA's allegation that he wants to monopolize that market is not so true. And they are insisting that they want to leave it for competition, so they are relying on importations as well.
Okay, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.